one thing that but like a lot of entrepreneurs have issues with is just getting leads for their business. And on my end, that's important because I also have a newsletter. So if I don't have any people on my newsletter, then I'm not sending to anybody, I'm not making any money. But it's really hard to convince people to join your newsletter just by saying, "Oh, I have great content," so on and so forth. So what I'm doing is actually, I'll take a step back. I was at a mastermind the other day with this woman named Gretchen Rubin, who's like a best-selling author. She has 1.3 million people on her email list. So I'm like, how did you get that many people on your list? She's like, I have one quiz. It's one quiz that tells people like what their archetype is, their personality based on her happiness guide. And she's like, that's how I got 1.3 million people on my email list. So I'm like, I always say, success leaves clues. So if that's how you did it, that's how I'm going to do it. So what I'm doing is I'm in the early stages of building a quiz where based on your responses, I'll recommend one of my services that can help you, but at the same time, you'll still get information on what your greatest weakness might be in your business and how to improve it. So I'm going to show you a little bit what that looks like right now. But for anyone who's tuning in right now, it doesn't matter if you're watching on a replay or live, if you're trying to build your email list or just trying to get people's emails so you can like reach out to them about whatever for your company, could be booking a sales call, consider a quiz. Because that way you're pre-qualifying why they need you. My LinkedIn post today, I was saying how so many experts just automatically recommend some kind of solution before actually diagnosing your problem. But if you went to a doctor and walked in and said, "Hey, I'm not feeling well," and they just gave you a prescription, you'd say, like, "Don't you want to ask me some questions first?" So that was the whole point of my post that I had today. But I used, by the way, this same exact format for creating content that I walk through with you live in Texas, and that you have access to in that workbook as well. So there's no like nothing but going on behind the scenes here. You all have access to this stuff. But let me share my screen real quick. And here's what I said. I said there are coaches who coach coaches who coach coaches. That's the real pyramid scheme on LinkedIn. And I did this to get people's attention, but I just said the same thing. I was like, whatever if you talk to a consultant, and they just say like, "Here's my solution, buy it." It's like a doctor who hands you a pill before asking you what hurts. So I was like, hey, maybe you don't need a surgery when a Band-Aid will do. Perhaps your offer is solid. You just need a pricing adjustment. So what I was saying is that's why I start with comprehensive audits, not generic assumptions about what every business needs. So, anyways, this is what I'm doing to generate business or people to DM me saying the word audit or commenting audit below in regards to getting business in. So, showing it a unique way again to make your point. Like, here's how I'm different from other people, and if you want to learn more about it, here you go. But going back to what I was saying earlier, I'm doing this quiz which aligns with every part of the this offer that I have that I walked through earlier in Texas. And in that quiz, I'm not going to go through the whole thing because that would get kind of tedious. Here it is. I'm going to ask questions like, hey, when it comes to your business, what feels most frustrating right now? It could be, I know I'm good, but I feel invisible. Or right, I get attention, but I'm not converting into clients. I keep tweaking things without clear directions. I'm booked out, but it's burning me out. Or I'm growing steadily, but want to optimize. Let's just do this right now, actually. Everyone who's watching and tuning in live, just go ahead and answer this. Like, is it one, two, three, four, or five? Just put that number in. You can read your screen right now. But what I'm going to do based on that, based on their answer to these seven questions, is assign them to one of five different categories. So you might be the hidden expert, or the network ghost, or the visionary starter, or the overwhelmed operator, or the undeniable force. And based on how you answer all these questions, again, you're going to assign one of these categories, but then there's going to be a results page at the end where I talk about the implication of that. So pretend you're the hidden expert. I would go down here. Is after you finish the quiz, it's going to say, okay, you're the hidden expert. You got the talent, but not enough people know it. This can be frustrating for both you and the people who need your help. You're delivering value, but your visibility is not matching your potential. You're not missing talent, you're missing strategic positioning. So do this now, craft a compelling origin story, optimize your social profiles, and post regularly. And then I'm saying, hey, if you want more help, here's this module on personal branding that will help you. So again, there's only seven questions here, but the way I have this logic set up, based on whatever you end up on, the visionary starter, the network ghost, the whatever, the overwhelmed operator, I can suggest specific parts of my business that can help you with this, my business offerings. So with that, let me stop sharing here and see how you all chimed in here. We got mostly ones and twos. Okay, so you're mostly hidden experts or the network ghost. And luckily, I have ways to help you with that. But I want you all to consider this too. Like, what is a fun, interactive way for you to perhaps engage your audience, give them some good information, and then also collect their email addresses as well? On my end, I'm using a tool called Try Interact. I'm going to put a link to that in right now. There's a free version of it you can use to build your own quiz. They also have an option to use AI to help you build your quiz as well. So if this seems even slightly interesting, you can go ahead and check out that tool. Again, it's called Try Interact. And to even build this quiz, I'm going to go deeper, even if you're not going to do this, at least you'll see my thought pattern. I went into ChatGPT and I was like, hey, I want to create a quiz where I'm asking my audience questions about their business. And based on their responses, I can map it back to one of the service offerings that I have for my clients. And then ChatGPT just built out like I would say like 80% of it, which is pretty cool. I tweaked it a little bit, but this all took me about an hour to do today. So to write out all the prompts, all the questions, all the responses, and then the next step will be to put it in this tool. And I'll show you right now. I'm going to just show you as I'm building it. Let me log in. The next step is to put it in this tool and just map all the logic, which again doesn't take too long because it's like for you to add another question. And again, I had ChatGPT write it for me. You just go here, uh, add another question, all the responses, and then you're on your merry way. So that's what I'm doing. I'm looking forward to trying it out as early as next week, and I'll see how it goes. But for me, I think it'll be a fun way for me to say like, hey, like, do you want to know what's missing in your business? Take my quiz and you'll find out. But then again, on the back end, I'm going to be promoting my services. What I'll also do though is this. If your results say like, hey, you need help with personal branding, I'm going to have a specific set of emails that go out to people who indicate that's their problem. So there'll be like five more emails that go out afterwards that are saying, you said you need help with personal branding. Here are some tips to do so. But at the end, it's still going to say, but you got to book me from coaching if you want more help. So I'm going to pause here. That was my little warm up here, so we can make sure that we're all in the mood to learn. But I'd love to hear yes or no, just in the chat. Did you start the homework? Did you get a chance to start the homework? I'm not going to ask if you finished it, but yes or no, did you get a chance to start the homework? And if you don't know what I mean, so now iPhone left because I asked the question. All right. So if you don't know what I mean by start the homework, just put question mark in there. And that's another clue for all of us too. And I'm going to put the homework right in the chat anyway, so don't worry about it. You missed it. Jay, all right, I got you. So Jay, you might not have been at the, which we'll call it. Let me just type this up. You might not have been at the live session that I did in Texas, but afterwards I gave everyone homework so they could learn how to apply basically what I was talking about. I just put a link in there. I just put, oh, okay, Jay, well, good to see you again. So, so anyways, I put a link in there to it. So you can go ahead and look at that. I would suggest later on. If you didn't get to it, or yeah, it's fine. So what we can do is this. Let's take a step back. Let's turn this into a Q&A session in general about your business. And I want to walk through a few basic parameters on that. But now is your chance to get your toughest questions answered in regards to growing your business. What I'm going to ask you to do, though, is instead of just typing the question, actually say it out loud because I'm horrible at actually reading someone's question and then answering it back. So with that, yes or no in the chat, are you currently meeting your revenue goals for this year? Yes or no? Are you currently meeting your revenue goals for this year? They said no. Okay, let's keep it going. Another no. Let's go. All right. So based on what I'm seeing, you should all have questions. So Jay, what do you think is holding you back from hitting your revenue goal? And if you could just say it out loud, that would be hugely helpful because that way I don't feel like I'm talking to a screen the whole time. What do you think is holding you back from hitting your revenue goals, and what do you do as well?
I'm not getting enough meetings with customers who want to move quickly. My sales cycles are extremely long. And again, I do the EV charging station infrastructure work.
Mhm.
And it just getting in front of the right type of customer that is willing to say yes now, that's my biggest problem.
Yeah. So Jay, I remember talking to you now that I hear your voice, by the way. So it's good to talk to you again. So a few things. Whenever you have a long sales cycle, there's a few ways to at least understand where things are going, if they're going the right direction, and or speed it up. One thing you can do just to see if things are going the right direction is to look for micro conversions. So it's a sales, the ultimate conversion. A micro conversion might be someone joining your email list or booking a sales call or things like that. So do you have easy ways to get these micro conversions? So if you're talking about like EV charging and stuff like that, do you have any kind of like lead magnet, like some kind of content you can give your audience that would make them want to join your email list or like reach out to you after they get that content?
I don't currently, but I have been starting to talk to my chat GPT to try to develop more marketing material. So
Yeah.
I don't have that contact lead currently, but just what you were talking about of an interactive setup, I'm going to start putting that into place in the next week.
Okay. Give me one question that your audience has about like EV chargers or like their role in their business and in regards to EV chargers. Like, what's one question that your audience has that's very difficult for them to answer, but somewhat easy for you to answer?
The cost to install. That is my biggest challenge with most of the customers I talk to, is the funding to install the EV charging station.
Okay. When you say funding, is this external funding or is it all internal?
Both.
Okay, so let me take a step back. So now there's already two things I'm thinking of. One is like some kind of calculator to guesstimate or estimate how much it's going to cost if they install these EV chargers. And you could say, how many chargers are you thinking of? Like, how many watts does it need? Whatever. And the calculator would say, like, you need a budget of X thousand dollars. Another is a resource. It could just be like a list. Like, here's my comprehensive list of grants and external funding that are available for people that want to install EV chargers. So just having that PDF, that list alone, could be valuable enough for people to want to download and then from there book a call with you. So I would do something like that to make it really easy for them.
Appreciate it. Thank you. I'm actually engaging with someone as of yesterday to help me identify grants, both local and state level, staying away from federal grants. That's a whole nother story. To identify those grants across the country and put that list together. So I can see where I can put that into a questionnaire. Again, some type of question. Hey, if I can bring this type of grant to you, would you be interested in putting in an EV charging within the next 2 to 3 months?
I like that. I also like partner with a grant writer as well. You could partner with a grant writer to say, hey, look, we have everything here. I can help with these EV chargers. And if you want help with this grant, we have a grant writer on my team as well. Have you considered that?
Good idea. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and I would outsource that person. Even on Fiverr, I found a grant writer on Fiverr for like 400 bucks. She did all the research for the grants and also submitted to three of them. So it's a lot cheaper if you look at platforms like that sometimes. So I would do that too. All right, so Jay's going to create this lead magnet, and by the next time we talk, he's going to be a bajillionaire, and he's going to treat us all to like I don't know something special I can't think of it right now. All right, so Jay, you're good now. I'm going to try to pronounce this. Like, help me out with it. Last name is Yancey. Can you pronounce your first name for me though?
It's Yonina.
You're Nina. All right,
I'm the
awesome.
one you said that I owe you somehow I owe you money.
Okay, so where's my money? I can't believe you showed up empty-handed. I would have not even brought that up, by the way. I would have said like I'm the one who had like nice hair or something. I would have any other unique identifier would have worked.
I'm the one who
But
got four contacts at your session.
oh, so you're good. All right, all right. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, you get the teacher business. Yeah, yeah. So Let's talk about next steps then. So you've learned that, hey, going to events, obviously a good way to get in front of your audience. Have you attended any similar events? Like, what are you doing to continue the momentum from when we talked a couple weeks ago?
So I've been working in my the AI, the Chat GPT. And so I've gotten started with opening up the my social media accounts, email address, LinkedIn. By the way, I'm following on LinkedIn now.
Oh, nice.
I've created my stories. Haven't posted anything, and just basically just trying to get branding and marketing. And I've had one consultation with a person who can actually help me get started with the business.
Nice. Yeah, it's funny how you're still like building your business, but you're already profitable. So that's pretty cool. That's actually pretty rare. So congrats on that. One thing I would consider as you're building this out is like cheap ways to get the word out. And one thing I'm thinking is just having almost like micro influencers in your community, like just wearing your clothing and just tagging you on their social media accounts. And that way you can use them to grow your audience because you're getting in front of their audience. So I would like
Okay.
I'll make this a longer story than it has to be. But there's this book called I think it's called The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell, and essentially he talks about how certain trends come to be, and sometimes it's done by design. So like way back in the day, like I mean like the 50s or 60s, what record labels would do is they will go to high schools and give like free records to the most popular kids in schools because they knew they would tell other friends about it. Same thing with hush puppies, like the shoe brand hush puppies. All of a sudden, like these hipsters in like lower Manhattan started wearing them, so then everybody else did too. Give you another example. Damon John, when he was launching FUBU to get the word out, what he would do is give free clothing to bouncers at the most popular hip hop clubs in New York City because he knew everyone going into the club is going to see these bouncers before they go in, and that's how he's going to blow up his brand. So what I'm asking you to do is do a Damon John and find some, they don't have to be bouncers, but find other people that are going to wear your clothing and tag you online. That way you can take advantage of their audience too. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes perfect sense. Thank you.
Yeah. And if you wanted to pretend there are like local influencers, if that's your thing, like this like really good, I don't know, someone who's like well known in the community, they have a decent following. Maybe reach out to those individuals that you don't even know that well. Like could be a newscaster perhaps, like whatever it is. So get strategic with that. I mean, obviously don't give away a bunch of free clothing. But that could be an easy way for you to get the word out. Okay,
Okay,
cool.
thank you.
So yeah, you got it. Raymond, you also said you're not currently on track to hit your goals. We're going to fix that. So remind us what you do, and then where you're struggling, perhaps.
Was that for me?
No, it's for Raymond
Oh,
Martinez.
okay.
I'm just going through the list of people who responded. So Raymond, what's going on?
Hey, sorry, I was trying to get unmute there. How you doing? So I do custom media walls and fireplaces. I didn't attend the live meeting. I would totally forgot about it, but then I saw the email, so that's why I decided to join now. But I feel like I'm struggling just because I'm still new to the Dallas area. I've been here like 2 years now. I stay okay busy, but I'm still just trying to like build it up so I cannot to that old saying is, I'm the business, I'm not running a business. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm doing a lot of it. I'm teaching some guys right now to do some of it too, and but I really joined just to get more info and just try to get myself out there to network and that kind of stuff.
Can you drop a link to your website or give us the name of your
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
company?
So my website is blazehtx.com.
Please, HTX. And how are you currently getting like clients?
TikTok has been good for me, and I recently started using Instagram.
Okay, so these are high-end media walls. It's not like you're
Yeah, I'm
doing good
trying to
work, man.
push. Thank you. I'm trying to do more like high end stuff. So I'm trying to, do it to where I'm dealing with higher end clients versus the DIYers that are just, oh, I already know, I can do it myself. Why are you charging me that kind? You know what I mean?
No, now I'm embarrassing my background. I feel like turning my camera off. But anyways, um, have you thought about like partnering with companies that already have access to your audience, like home renovators or like even I don't know. Like I'm trying to think like Not home renovators, but like even
I
like
thought of fireplace, like the fireplace manufacturers, probably. Right?
something like that. Yeah, that's where I'm going with it. Yeah. There was this company I consulted a long time ago. It's like American Fire Pit. It was like one of those generic names, but like they
Okay.
do stuff like this. What they did is they had partnerships with a lot of other companies that were similar to them, but not competitors, right? So someone like you would be perfect. And that way, like when they get a new customer or something, they can say, "Oh yeah, by the way, I got this person who can help." And normally there would be like a 10 to 15% referral fee. So if they gave you
Gotcha.
like client and you made $100 off of it, you would give them back like 10 or $15.
Got it.
On your end, I mean, like any kind of home builder or home remodeler in the yeah, someone's saying right now, home builders. Yeah, no, it's perfect. Dr. Horton or DR Horton, I don't know who that is, but maybe that's local
Yes.
to you. That's where I would start. Like I would just like spend, a couple days sending these partnership request emails like, hey, I see you do this, I do that. Looks like we have an audience in common. I'd love to set up a program where I'm sending you leads and you're sending me leads. I can give you 10% of anything you send me, so on and so forth. That is where I would start because then, like, no matter what you're doing, at least there's like 15, 20 people out there who are aware of what you do and might potentially refer clients to you. What I would also do is set up a different, like, almost like a distribution list for them. And like every quarter, just remind them, like, hey, by the way, as you know, like I have this amazing referral program. Would love for you to take part of it. How does
Got it.
that sound initially?
So yeah, no, that sounds good. I mean, I have a mailing list, and I have a few people that have signed up to my mailing list off the website. But end of the day, I need to apply myself more to it. I just did a Wix template website. Took some good pictures myself and kind of just set that up myself there on the website.
No, your website is fine. All I'm saying is like, don't worry about collecting leads on your website. I mean, you can do that too. But what I'm saying is also just go out proactively and find these partnerships because
Gotcha.
that way
Okay.
it's
Okay.
like someone who already got a yes, from their client or whatever can help you out as well.
Got it.
What other social media platforms are you on besides Facebook?
So Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram.
All right, I would link to those from your website when you get a chance.
Okay.
Um, what about Pinterest?
I have a Pinterest, but hadn't put myself on there as far as like a business. I'm not sure how that works.
Are you local? Did you only do local work, or you can you do work
Yeah, I'm
outside
only
of?
doing I'm only doing local DFW. There is times I'll go to like Houston or San Antonio and Austin, but those are rare occasions. But I try to just stick around here. DFW is pretty big, so kind of
Yeah.
just you know.
The only reason why I'm saying Pinterest is people literally search for this stuff on Pinterest. You know what I mean? Like when they
Oh yeah,
get a
yeah,
new
yeah.
home, or so if there are platforms where your audience is literally searching for what you're selling, it doesn't hurt you to be on there, especially when you already have the content that you're putting on like TikTok and Facebook and stuff like that. So you know how it goes. If people are like remodeling their home or buying a new home or planning a wedding and all that stuff, like that's where they go. So I would just put your content on there too. It doesn't have to be as a business. Just have a presence first and then see where it goes. But I would just try that out too.
Okay, gotcha.
Last thing I'll say is, have you considered same thing with a partnership, like selling to your previous clients? Like, hey, I had a great time, setting this up. By the way, here's some other products or services you might want, and you're selling that as an affiliate or referral partner yourself. Have you done anything like that to re-engage your previous clients, even like trying to upsell them this stuff?
Yeah, but if I so what I started to do, and I haven't listed it on my website or anywhere really too much, is like laundry room updates and
Mhm.
closet walk-in closets. So I plan to do that later, but again, I feel I'm still in the spot where I'm still trying to get the two guys I got helping me kind of to take off on their own. That gives me more time to focus on the other stuff because right now I'm kind of still running all of it basically, when it even down to picking up materials, building some of these walls.
Uh, and we can move on after this, but like, what challenges that you have with getting them to like kind of ramp up?
It's more of I'm trying to teach younger guys versus the older guys because the older guys I feel like they're already set in their old ways of doing things.
Mhm.
And the younger guys I feel like I have to just teach them and it's getting there just taking a little longer to teach him because every setup is different and you kind of have to know kind of how to make adjustments out in the field, you know?
Okay, so it's like almost like an apprenticeship. You can't just give them directions; like they have to see the stuff going on in real
Yeah,
time.
yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at right now with them. Yeah.
Okay. Hmm.
But but I also broke it down. So, even off subject, I mean, I'm breaking it down as okay, framing, one person, electrical, another person, drywall, another person, kind of like in the trades, like subbing, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, and I understand it can be a little frustrating when there's like things you can't do because like you're training them still, but hopefully by the end of summer you're in a good spot with them and you can take action on forming more partnerships and focusing on more on the business side as opposed to like the actual delivery side. But you're at least making the right steps to put yourself in that position, so that's good.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Cool. Who else said no? Winston, remind us what you do and where you feel like you're kind of stuck. Winston, I think you just unmuted, so it looks like you're about to talk. We're listening. All right, maybe not.
Hey,
All
hey,
right, there we
can you
go.
hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, sorry, I was a little busy.
Yeah.
What was the question? I'm sorry.
Just what's going on, pretty much. I was asking a question like, "Hey, are you all on pace to hit your revenue goal?" You said no. So what I'm doing is just diagnosing perhaps why, and then giving advice on how I might be able to help. So if you can just remind us what you do, and maybe where you're a little bit stuck, we can start there.
Well, we're Swift Stretch. We're a mobile and in-studio assisted stretch and recovery business.
Mhm.
So we're service-based. I think the challenge is really marketing and getting visibility.
Okay. Your physical location, you have a storefront?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you familiar with Stretch Zone and Kika Stretch, those two companies?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I used to consult Kika Stretch like way back in the day. That's why I'm like, oh, I know way too much about this topic. So her thing was just being very specific on the audience that she focused on. And in her case, she was focusing on like slightly older people, so like north of like 50-ish, because they just had the highest like repeat visitors and like the highest like lifetime value. She also sells a lot of extra stuff while she's there. Like there's like certain supplements and like lotions and things like that to increase your average revenue per visit. But where where are you stuck in regards to the marketing, I guess?
Uh, we use most of the platforms, YouTube, Instagram. Um, we do a lot of pop-ups, so different fitness, wellness events.
Okay.
I'll say that
Are,
that's about it. Yeah.
um, okay. Are you running any ads or anything?
No.
All right. The only reason why I'm suggesting even considering that is that's something that Kika's done effectively. And the ad is for a free stretch. So what I would consider doing, do you give free stretches or anything like that or no?
I'm sorry. I think you cut out a little.
I was saying like, do you have any kind of like, okay, so you have this 30-minute intro stretch for $60. Do you have any kind of free offerings or is it that's the main one?
No free offerings. We'll do demos, but kind of stop offering like the free session.
They never actually came back and paid. So,
Yeah. I don't think the
oh,
value is there for when it's free. So
yeah, yeah. Who's your target audience? Like, who are you? Like, who's it the perfect avatar for you?
older clients, so that's like post-op. You have some older clients who are very active, fit. We focus a lot on busy professionals, people sitting for most of the day, and probably are active themselves and, kind of want to maintain. And then younger, maybe mid-age athletes.
Okay. Um, okay. Sorry, I'm just like looking at your website real quick. Have you considered any partnerships, like kind of like I was saying before, with like maybe it's like a physical therapist who doesn't do this type of work, or someone who is around your audience and is aware of the fact they have these issues and know that you could help you, know that you could help them. Have you considered kind of partnerships like that?
Been looking at a lot of gyms. For our audience specifically, we started branching out to more so like golf clubs or retirement communities, um, things of that sort. But
Yeah.
mostly our partnerships right now are with gyms, fitness centers.
Okay. So that makes sense. Another thing to look at is like chiropractors. Had a lot of success with that because people need extra care outside of like just getting adjustments. And also, for some reason, tennis and cycling. People who do tennis and cycle, they were good customers. One, because those are two sports that cost a lot of money, and another is like you're obviously going through repetitive motion, right? So, I think if you look at, also horseback riding. So equestrian sports, those individuals happen to perform well too. So if you have a chance to like branch out to those communities and find those partnerships, I would just go on ChatGPT real quick, have it write an email for me, like, hey, I'm looking to provide your members with a unique experience. Can I come there and do a pop-up, so on and so forth, and then see what happens from there? When you're at these pop-ups and you get someone's email address, is there some kind of sales sequence that goes out afterwards?
Mm, no, sir. And I think that's where the weakness is. I think finding the connect where we turn leads into clients.
Okay. So good. I mean, that's what I would do then. I would next time you do anything, right? If you're collecting leads, maybe you're saying, hey, we're raffling off a free stretch if you have to. But once they're on your email list, then I would again have ChatGPT help me with this. Just craft like a 5 series email where it's like, hey, I'm glad that you came here and got stretched. Here's 4 benefits of stretching. Here's what happens if you don't. If you want to learn more about how we can help you, like, book a call. The next one's like, here's an example of a client, like this is Tim. Before Tim came here, he couldn't play half a round of golf. Now he's the PGA champion. If you want to be like Tim, book a call. Like, have ChatGPT write this out for you. But that way, once you get in front of them, everything's automated afterwards. So like the first 5 to 7 emails, that's where they're more likely to convert. But then if they're not, you can still put them on a different list where it's like, every quarter they get a reminder email in regards to booking a call with you. So I think that's really all you need to do from what I heard so far. You're getting out there in the community, you're doing the right things. There are some different audiences that you can reach out to, but it sounds like that's the biggest challenge, based on what we talked about, is just getting more people like through the funnel essentially, and doing that email outreach would help a lot.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you got it. Okay. Who else replied? And anyone else who's here, we got Rachel, we got Ken. Now is your chance to. Oh, sorry, Carmelita. I forgot to get to you. So Carmelita, good to see you. You're currently not hitting your revenue goal, which is all good. We still got plenty of time. But I'm curious, first of all, what do you do, and what is your biggest challenge in regards to hitting your revenue goals this year? Let's see. All right, Carmelita, we know you're still here. So again, the question is, what do you do, and what is your biggest challenge in regards to hitting your revenue goals, so we can try to help you out here?
Hi,
Hey, how's it
can
going?
you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
good.
I'm just starting out. I'm not in the Dallas area or Fort Worth area. I'm actually outside of Atlanta.
Okay, cool.
And I've just started a wellness business dealing with supplements and we do adaptogens. I have a scanner where I scan people, and then it tells them what supplements they would need. So
All right, I'm
basically,
intrigued. Continue. Go ahead.
okay, so basically, like I said, I'm just starting, and I guess my challenge would be how to get in front of more eyes.
Yeah, I mean, you had me at adaptogens, but tell me more about this scanner.
Okay, it takes about 3 minutes. It uses you've ever gone to the doctor and they put that oximeter on your finger?
Yeah.
Okay, it's like an oximeter that goes on your finger, takes 3 minutes, it scans 45 body functions, and then it spits out a report.
Okay. Did you create this scanner?
No, I did not. I wish.
Okay. Well, what's your medical background? Because you sound like you know some stuff. I'm
No,
just
I
curious.
don't have any medical background. Right now,
Okay.
I am a chiropractic assistant. I've been around alternative medicine for
Hmm.
probably about 30 years at least. I
Okay.
go to a lot of different seminars on wellness and alternative health.
Okay. Well, you sound very well versed. So this succinctly, like you're selling this device or you're selling your analysis of what happens after they use the device or both?
Exactly. My analysis, what happens after they use the device, and it tells them what supplements they would need based on what's out of sync in their body, what needs support.
Okay. And are they buying the device as well, or are they going to you in person to use it?
They can buy the device, but basically, I'm looking to get people on the supplements.
Okay. 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 Got it. Got it. So you're outside of Atlanta. Actually, I was in Alpharetta like 2 months ago. One of my friends lives
Mhm.
there. So cool area. I mean, from what I'm hearing, there like it would help to get in front of people with this.
Mhm.
And so I'm thinking like flea markets or like any kind of like open air space where people are like selling goods and services that are similar. Anywhere where you can get where people are expecting to buy things like this. Like
Mhm.
here in Brooklyn, like there's a park nearby, and like every Sunday there's a lot of vendors selling like organic juices, like lotions, candles, baskets, all that stuff. I would try to get in situations like that because that's your audience. Like as soon as you said adaptogens, I'm ready to buy. Like some people, like they're like whatever, they don't even know what that is.
Mhm.
But for me, I know the benefit of it, and it's
Mhm.
surprising. So for those people who listening who don't know what adaptogens are, they're just like common everyday like foods and like vegetables you can eat, like lion's mane, like mushroom,
Mhm.
or blueberries. If you're ever like feeling kind of sad, like blueberries are an adaptogen. They can actually cheer you up. You know what I mean? So what she's selling is like real medicine that can help you, and it's been around like thousands of years. So you have to be around the right audience sometimes who like gets that immediately, especially when you're first
Mhm.
starting out, instead of trying to convince someone that blueberries are going to make them happy. So now I'm thinking like yoga studios, maybe going there, just like
Mhm.
I think it was like Gabriel saying, or sorry, Raymond was saying earlier, go to yoga studios. Like, hey, I'd
Mhm.
love to like just do a quick pop up over here. Can I share some of the adaptogens, so on and so forth? Any kind of like meditation, any kind of like things that are aligned with like holistic stuff.
Mhm.
That's what I would look for. So like literally just like I'm sure there's a lot in the Atlanta area. I would just start looking for aligned brick and mortar locations that you think you'd be a good fit for in regards to doing some kind of pop up there. And luckily, since these are adaptogens, they're not like, unnatural chemicals, like they're easy to
Right.
trust. So I would start there. And then when you're there, same thing I was saying before, get people to tag you on social media, saying, oh, wow, this is great. Like blueberries are awesome or whatever. And
Mhm.
that we can use their audience to grow yours.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah, sure thing. Oh, Carmelita, you went to UB? You went to University of Buffalo? I didn't know that.
I did.
Wait, Jay, how'd you know that? Jay, you went there too then, right?
Jay is my brother.
Oh, okay. Do I have any? Okay, so since that's the case, I gotta show you something. This is my award from the University at Buffalo for
Oh,
being
wow.
a
Oh,
Blackstone Launchpad luminary. So Blackstone has this thing there or whatever. So yeah, that's my UV connection. That's cool.
congratulations.
Yeah, my buddy that I was staying with down in Alpharetta, I went to UB with him too, actually. So that's cool. Um, But yeah, going back to what I was saying, you're in a good spot because you're selling good stuff that people need. I would even thinking about like I'm sure you have plenty of products. I don't think about the mood of like the world right now. So things like, hey,
Right.
reduce stress,
Mm-hmm.
things like that, boost clarity, whatever it is. That's what I would lead with in this case.
Great. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, go Bulls.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right. So wait, Carmelita, do you sell tinctures? Tinctures?
No, no.
Okay. Well, is there a reason why you don't?
It's a line of products, and I didn't create the line. But
Okay.
we do have some adaptogens that are in liquid form, but just not tinctures.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Well, there you go. You might have a customer. We'll see. Um, but yeah, that's what I would do because I know what you're selling. I know it's not snake
Mhm.
oil, like literally. So yeah, that's what I would say. All right, we got about 15 minutes to like left here, so I'm happy to answer more questions. And if I
Right.
were you and I was
Okay.
listening, keep them
Wait, wait,
coming.
okay.
Oh, I thought it was Carmelita asking a question. She might have been.
I have a,
We can just go ahead and mute her, Frankie. There you go. Um, but yeah, like I said, we got 15 minutes. I'm happy to answer more questions. And honestly, if I were you and I was like struggling whatsoever, I would just because I might not have the exact answer you're looking for, but I know I can point you in the right direction. And then beyond that, someone listening could probably use your help as well. So, okay, we got a hand up. Yeah, go for it.
So I've followed some of the steps that you said in the first in-person meeting.
Hmm.
But one thing is, um, like I said, still, trying to get more customers, and then also have I guess, social media presence, and then being able to, I guess, convince customers to, I guess, buy my merchandise, or also being able to get into the space of selling to like churches, like doing corporate events, schools, brides, weddings, and stuff like that. How would a person, I guess, such as myself, be able to, I guess, get in the space of that?
You're doing a lot at once, it sounds like. Do you have a website right now?
No, not yet. I've just
That's
been
okay.
basically word of mouth.
Okay. In you have a social media presence though, you said?
I do have a social media, but I haven't been really doing anything with it. I was actually doing consultant work first with like styling people,
Hmm.
just basically I've styled a few celebrities, but then that didn't really work out too well for me. So I kind of just transitioned into doing just apparel now.
Okay. So I'll say this. I mean, often if you're trying to get into new spaces, it's better to approach with an offer as opposed to an ask. So what I mean by that is like if you walk up to a church and say, "Hey, I also love the Lord, and I'd like to make this apparel for you. I made you a sample T-shirt. How do you feel about, this? Can we have a conversation around it?" So what I'm saying is, if it's not too much trouble, you can make like an actual sample T-shirt for. And I am talking about a church specifically right now. There's other options too, but if you give someone an offer like, "Hey, I want to give you this shirt," and then talk about how it can make more for your community, that's what I would consider. Especially if you know they have like annual events. Like I know every summer you have this thing. I'd love to make the T-shirts for it, so on and so forth. That's what I would do. Is like literally just put it in their hand. Like here's this thing. It's the same thing like when you go to the mall. Like I don't go to malls anymore. We don't really have them here in New York City. But like, have you ever seen that person with the samples? Like they're handing out samples at the mall. Is that you guys seen that in the food court before?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it like. That's their job is to give someone a sample of something, and of the 10 people that try it or 5 people that try it, some of them are actually going to go purchase a meal. So that's what I'm asking you to consider doing is just make a sample shirt for some of these organizations, and just literally go there, like literally knock on the door. How does that sound when I bring it up as an opportunity?
That sounds good. I have a few people that I know that attend church, so maybe I can go and visit their church and kind of just have a casual conversation with some people.
Yeah, and just see what happens because You can reach out via email, you can reach out via social media and all that stuff as well. I'm not saying that too, but I think if you have an opportunity where you're like, hey, I'm going to block off like one Saturday and just bounce it, like not even making a custom shirt for every single one. Like, it doesn't have to be that. But I think that would help. And you said some other organizations, like you said, like sports teams, I think. Is that correct or no?
Yes. So I know I've been trying to get in the space of being able to provide t-shirts for some of the high schools and elementary schools, but you have to have it's a lot of red tape.
Okay. Are there like smaller, like even like independent schools or daycares even you can reach out to? Because that might be a workaround. Like, because every time my kids go on a field trip with their daycare, they all have to wear the same shirt, it's like a red shirt or whatever, so they can keep track of them better. It might be easier to sell to like an individual daycare as opposed to a school district if you want to get started on that end instead.
Okay, I'll look into that. I just put my son in basketball, so I'm hoping that maybe that could potentially lead to some new clients as well once, the season starts.
Well, why don't you just make shirts for the parents to wear to support their kids?
We just got started, so I don't really know anyone just yet.
You gotta get pushy. Come to New York for a little bit, you get more bold, more bold and pushy.
Oh,
Junior's always trying to sell you something. And I'm somewhat joking, but here's what you can do if you don't want to be pushy. Make your own shirt. It's like whatever the name of the team. What's the name of your son's sports team? Like, what's it called?
I'm not too sure yet. It's through the YMCA, so they
Okay,
haven't, I guess, given a name or an assigned a name yet.
got it. Well, we'll just say this: like, when you do figure that out, one thing you could do is like make your own shirt, and then all of a sudden, everyone else is gonna perhaps want them as well. That's what happened in my high school, which was like so long ago. Some kids like made their own T-shirts for spring break, and all the other kids are like, "Holy cow, I want to get one of those too!" So they end up selling 500 shirts before going on spring break, which effectively paid for it. So sometimes, again, just showing people the actual outcome and then saying, "Hey, do you want to buy this thing?" can be enough to be a tipping point. So honestly, before you went too into like trying to build up your social media presence or anything like that, I would get real grassroots and do stuff like that. Like have enough on your social media so they can look at you and see, okay, this person's legit. But end of the day, whenever you're posting online, you're hoping the right person sees your content. You're hoping they reach out to you and hoping they're a good fit. But if you can just go knock on some doors or just wear some gear that shows like what you can do already, you'll get traction a lot faster, or at least you get feedback a lot faster too. So that's what I would suggest doing. But
Thank you
Rachel, how's it going?
so much.
Yeah, you got it. And keep them coming because we got time, I think. But Rachel, I saw you had your hand up.
Yeah, hi. So I'm Ray Dove, and I actually own a Caribbean hot sauce company here in Grand Prairie, Texas.
Awesome.
However, I heard you're from Brooklyn. My husband's from Brooklyn. I'm from Queens.
Do we have beef? I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out.
Um, so I currently sell my products at the Grand Prairie Farmers Market. A lot of farmers markets around um, the different Metroplex area here. However, I'm also on Shopify. I do have all social media platforms out there, but I still feel like I'm not hitting my target with sales. Um, what else can I do? I mean,
Um,
knocking on doors and everything.
yeah. What about, have you done anything with retail? Have you thought about that, or is that like you don't like the margins?
When you say retail, brick and mortar.
Yeah, like selling and like having a supermarket carry your products.
So I've been reaching out. So I'm a part of a number of Chamber of Commerce's, Grand Prairie, Arlington, a couple of them. Well, trying to get some leads off of that as well. Also working with my city. Like I said, I'm from Grand Prairie. It's important to me to put roots down here because
Mhm.
we currently don't have something Caribbean here in the town of Grand Prairie.
Mhm.
Um, so I'm really working hard to put some roots down here.
Yeah.
But yes, I have been in touch with quite a few people, but I think me showing up in person, and I think this week I had a conversation with someone from the city and they said maybe just actually going in person to some of these places because the product is really approved by everyone who's tried it. And I have returning customers, but I just feel I need to reach more. I need to expand.
Yeah, so maybe actually going to like a local supermarket, like you're saying, like not maybe like a huge chain, but like a locally owned one, and saying, "Hey, try this." You know what I mean? Like literally, just try this and get their reaction, and say, "Hey, look, I'm not asking you to go all in, but can we have like 12 bottles here? And if they don't sell within 30 days, I'll come back and buy it myself." You know what I mean? Like that's something you could do just to get in front of people and literally, kind of put your money where your mouth is at that point. But if they're tasting it and enjoying it, they're gonna be like, heck, this is amazing. So that's one route you could go. Um, with the summer coming up, are there any kind of, I keep on saying festival, but like, is there like any like Caribbean specific festivals going on in your area?
No, I'm actually on the board for the Caribbean Association of Texas, and recently I'm planning something here in Grand Prairie. So I'm working with the city on that, which is in September, but nothing during the summer. We did have something. It's minimal Caribbean out here.
I
Um,
noticed.
so trying to bring the taste of the Caribbean here to Grand Prairie is important. I mean, we do have a lot of Jamaican cuisine restaurants out here in Arlington, but nothing. We're families from Trinidad and Tobago. We're, the land of Carnival. So trying to bring some of that culture and to the city, basically,
Yeah,
and surrounding areas.
yeah.
Flavors,
No,
flavors.
I like it. Not to get off topic, have you ever been to the West Indian Day Parade here in Brooklyn or no?
Absolutely. So I owned a carnival band there, and my
Okay.
husband and I actually I ran the sponsorship. I'm retired from American Airlines, so I ran the
Mhm.
sponsorship for it as well. So
Oh, that's
yes,
awesome. Cool.
many, many years, and I played Queen of Carnival since I was think 2 years old. Yes.
All right, so maybe we'll share some pictures later. But but I used to live on Eastern Parkway, so like literally went by my apartment. Like so for you
That's
all that
awesome.
don't know, the West Indian Day Parade is like the hugest parade in Brooklyn, probably New York City. Anywhere between like 1 to 3 million people come to it every year, and it goes by my apartment. So so yeah, it's a big deal. But I think on your end, it sounds like you have the agency and the ambition to just really build that community there, right? So maybe it is you partnering with like some kind of local, restaurant and saying, hey, let's do some kind of event where you're using my sauces and your food to expose your customers to this new stuff. It's going to be great for you because you'll get some new customers in here. It'll be great for me because I can get the word out and sell some bottles. Even having your bottles displayed, if they decide, hey, let's lock this in, maybe you're selling your bottles at these local restaurants. You know what I mean? So if you get a partnership like that where you can kind of like unseat their current like house barbecue sauce with yours, or in addition to, that would be pretty cool too. Then you're selling their retail. Maybe they're selling $10 for it, selling it for $10. You get five, they get five, but that'll give you more visibility, even just like being on a shelf there. How does that sound when I break it down that way?
No, I understand that. Yeah, I'm looking into that actually this week. I have a meeting tonight after this call. The Arlington Chamber of Commerce we're meeting tonight, and where they're having it, it's a Caribbean location, and I plan on approaching him as well. So yeah, getting it out there and sharing the profits, definitely. I'm looking at the numbers right
Yeah,
now.
cool. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it just takes time with any, especially like with stuff like this, it takes time. But the last thing I'll ask is like, are you encouraging your customers to share their experience online? Again, trying to get that word of mouth advertisement. Like, is on the bottle, can they scan a code real quick that goes to Instagram and they upload a picture? Like, how easy are you making it for other people to help you essentially?
I think that's my downfall. I have not asked. I mean, I have a few customers that do post, but I don't think I've asked them enough to share their experience of my product. Um, my website is on the bottles, so it's easy for them to get to.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's like the last thing I would leave you with then is like the more like word of mouth advertising you get, like the better. So if you can, like, I don't know if you have their email addresses, you can reach out and say, hey, we're doing this thing. Like, if you post a picture of like your favorite recipe, maybe that's what you do for the summer. Like, hey, post your favorite recipe using like our amazing barbecue sauce. We're gonna like have one winner who gets like, I don't know, a hat, not a hat, but like, you see what I'm saying? Like, this way we're appealing to their ego as well. Like, oh, you got to try my jerk chicken recipe, so on and so forth. Have them post it online, tag your business, and then from there you can get more word of mouth advertising. So like something along those lines, doesn't have to be that. But I would try to find a way to essentially gamify the promotion of your company by other people. And a contest like that could be one way to do so. So what I would ask you to do is just kind of like meditate on that. Like, what are some ways I can like gamify the opportunity for people to promote my company in a way that'd be fun for them and as well as profitable for me. And that could be a way for you to bring in more business ahead of this huge event that you're going to have in the fall.
It sounds good. I actually love that idea.
Cool. Got the seal of approval. So yeah, what I would suggest, and I know we're almost at time here, is like any of these issues that you're having where you're like, oh man, I'm kind of stuck here, so on and so forth. Like obviously we can talk here. We're gonna talk during more workshops. But what you can also do is again, just like ask AI. Like pretend you're a world-class business consultant who's helped thousands of people launch their barbecue sauces over the last 50 years. Here's what I'm trying to do. How would you suggest that I get the word out in this area? Right. So I would do that. And I would also feed it competitors. Like here's some similar brands like Dinosaur Barbecue or whatever it is, so on and so forth. Go to their website and reverse engineer how they found success and then give me a solid plan. So I know a human touch is necessary, but if we can get started sometimes, or at least augment our approach sometimes with these with AI, that can be pretty powerful as well.
Makes sense. Yeah, I didn't think about that, but yeah, I definitely will try it. I'm trying
Cool.
anything.
Yeah, I mean, well, you know what you're doing, and you have a good product. So it's like it's not like that's the issue. It's just like we're just making these tweaks, and you'll be in a good spot.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yep, I think I just needed to hear that. Yeah, it's a product that you definitely don't find on the shelves today, so it's unique.
I mean, I would use it because I don't know. Sometimes I just want like a really good hot sauce just to make me feel like alive. Like sometimes you just need to like kind of reset a little bit.
Yeah, I have three flavors right now, but I also do Caribbean street foods, and it's something like I'd like to expand into that, introduce the Caribbean flavors, not just the sauces, but the foods of Trinidad and Tobago to the community and surrounding areas as well. So that's my goal.
Yeah, love it. All right. Well, next time I'm down there, I have to get some because now I'm really hungry. So thanks for that.
You can buy it on
Um,
Shopify.
thanks. I appreciate it. I'll go online. All right, so we're gonna take off, but we're gonna be talking again. And next time we're talking about unshakable concept on confidence, sorry, mindset, goal setting, and routines. Like that's actually my favorite part when people actually gonna click your link before we sign off here. Everybody else will get to. We get some Caribbean heat in our life. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. In between now and then, I put a link to the homework in there. You also got the email about it. You can get started with that whenever you want. If you want to keep on working on that, I can still answer more questions about it even later. So don't feel like that part's done. But the more work you put in, the more I can help you. So make sure you're doing that as well. And if you're looking for something to eat this weekend, I would definitely consider checking out this hot pepper sauce. Marcus, wait, this mustard one is pretty cool. So yeah, that's what I would do. Frankie, I don't know if you want to say anything else before we take off here, but I feel like we accomplished something here. Happy about that.
We just want to tell everyone we appreciate you all coming back to listen to Mr. Rice give out the knowledge that he has given to everybody. Don't forget this will be recorded, so therefore, this has been recorded. So therefore, if you do need to go back and just redo the homework or even see the first session, it's on the landing page, and you should have gotten an email about it. So other than that, we're good. Thank you, Mr.
Actually,
Rice.
no, actually, I have one more thing because what I'm hearing in some cases is like there's an opportunity to do things and we're a little hesitant. So what I'm asking everyone to do is next week, just do one thing that scares you. Like pitch this person you think will never say yes, right? Let's just try something so audacious, so radical that if it works, it's like, all right, cool. That was a good idea. If it fails, it's like, all right, well, what do you expect? You know what I mean? So it's like I make that comparison almost like when you shoot like a half court shot if you're playing basketball. If you miss, no one's like, oh my gosh, you're horrible at basketball. But if you make it, it's like, well, that dude is really good, right? So just shoot your shot next week. Do one thing that scares you. So for everyone who's like, we talked about potential partnerships, reach out to the biggest brand you can think of, right? You like, and even going back to like with Raymond, with your home theater setups. I mean, IKEA was literally at the event we went to. So obviously, like that's a bit of a stretch there. But a company like that, could potentially help you if you weren't a direct competitor, right? So just like look for large companies, look for big opportunities, like just look forward to failing, right? Because that just kind of warms you up for other big asks in your life, and they don't seem so challenging. So again, take away from today, talked about all that stuff, but just do one thing next week that scares you. And we'll talk about that when we come back as well. But thanks for this. I appreciate you. Sorry we're going over here, but I actually like doing this stuff. And we'll talk again soon. So thanks for this.
Thanks. All right, thanks everybody. I think I'm gonna get